Hello everyone, John here with Advistics. It's another hot and humid summer day in Florida, but warrants a quick ride before I unbox and install my new smartphone mounting system by Quadlock on a brand new Touratech GPS bar for the Pan America. Let's enjoy this ride. I think it's pretty common to have your phone, especially a smartphone, front and center while you're riding your bike. That's why so many motorcyclists do it. Swing your leg over and mount. Screen your calls, see your music, and follow GPS directions. On a recent overnight trip, I ended up traveling on remote back roads in an unfamiliar area. I had to rely on GPS. Harley-Davidson offers this outstanding 6.8-inch color TFT touchscreen display that offers Bluetooth connectivity and moving map navigation. It relies on the phone's GPS and the Harley-Davidson app to transmit location information to the motorcycle display. And if anyone is familiar with having used GPS on the phone, it tends to deplete your battery fast. If I were to critique this Harley-Davidson setup, I wish they would offer a separate GPS module, an optional accessory add-on where I could install and take full advantage of the display without the reliance of my phone and its battery. So I was not only looking for a good mounting solution, but one that also offers charging. There are a lot of different mounting systems out there, most of them good, but I was looking for the best. I came across Quadlock, which not only offered a weatherproof wireless charging head, but tended to receive favorable reviews. So that's what I decided to go with. Next is to find the optimal mounting position. Because I plan on traveling with my tank bag a majority of the time, having it traditionally front and center on the steering handle, the bag would just obstruct that view. It could go off to the side or on a mirror stem, but instead I'm going to install the Touratech GPS mounting bar that sits above the instrument panel. Very common placement to have on an adventure motorcycle. I'm planning on mounting the phone there, and if I decide to get a dedicated GPS unit like a Garmin Zumo XT, I'm already set up for it. Okay, everybody, here's the fun part of the whole process, going through my box of goodies. So first, I want to show you this Touratech GPS mount that goes over the instrument panel. This was just recently released, so I'm going to install this. It has a 3/8-inch bar that goes across for traditional GPS mounts, but I am going to try to do this Quadlock Pro connection on that if I don't like it on the handlebars. And if I ever decide to get a separate GPS unit, I'll always have this. So it's a good place to put stuff. Here is the traditional handlebar mount Pro. The Pro is all aluminum. This is kind of the traditional way to install one of these quad locks. It goes right on the handlebars. Poof, you're done. It's real simple. This is all you really need, other than the case to mount it, but I'll get to that. The other option is, again, this 3/8 mounting. This is typically for the rear view mirrors, the bars that go up on the mirrors, so you can attach your phone or attach this mount to that. But again, I'll probably try to attach it to the Touratech just to see if I like that approach. This is the iPhone 11 Pro case. So you need one of these in order for all this to work. They have all kinds of different cases for all the different phones out there, but that's the locking mechanism right in there, and that'll attach to this part of the mount. And as an accessory, I just got this phone ring. It goes in there and just gives you the ability to stand up or prop up your phone when you're not attached to the motorcycle. So these are just some accessories I got, just in case I don't like the placement of the phone or I can toy around with the angle. This is about 1.5 inches of ability to manipulate the angle. This is also a low profile kind of little knuckle adapter just in case I don't want it to jet out too far. But these will give me the ability to kind of play around with the placement of the phone. And because you're on an adventure motorcycle, you got to be careful of the phone jiggling around. So this is a vibration dampener. This is a new product. I think it's been out there for a couple years to help safeguard the instruments inside the phone, especially when it comes to the camera equipment. Last but not least is the Weatherproof Wireless Charger. This is the fun part of the whole setup. If I can just stick my phone onto the adapter and it just starts charging, that's going to be great, especially if I'm going to be using the GPS feature on my phone like I talked about. The only bad part is this comes with a USB cable, USB-A, and so my instrument panel only has a USB-C, so I went to Amazon and got some inexpensive USB-C to USB-A little adapters, so we'll put that together and see if that works. We're going to go ahead and open up the Touratech bar because I'm kind of eager to see how this is all going to be put together. It looks like the mount comes two different sides, so it'll probably mount something like that. Here's all the hardware, and here's that 3/8 10mm bar I was talking about. Instructions to go to website. Now we'll take a look at the iPhone Pro. Now mine's an 11 and I think they're up to 13s as of filming of this video. Oh, it's got a nice little felt in there, similar to the case I have now, so that'll protect the back. Rubbery plastic. It's got some give to it, but it does feel like it's going to hold well. It's going to protect the phone. And then we got the ring. Feels pretty durable. I think it's aluminum. Stick it in there like that. Yeah, that feels good. I like that. Maybe you can rotate it a little bit. Like that. What I'm probably going to use for the GPS mount. And then it gives you different inserts depending on the size. So it has some flexibility. I believe it'll do 10mm, 12mm, 14mm, 16mm. This is the dual pivot small. They have two sizes of this. This is a 2-inch mount. The larger version must be a 4-inch. So they give you an Allen wrench. The problem with all these accessories is I probably have a large amount of options I can now mount this phone, and that might be my downfall. Too many different options. And then my other one is this knuckle adapter. Where's that? Next is the motorcycle vibration dampener. Comes with another Allen wrench. This one does come with some instructions, some warranty information, I believe, as well. Go ahead and take a look at the handlebar mount. Okay, so here's some stickers, warranty information. Here's some instructions on the actual mount. This is the release mechanism. So when the phone goes on there. And here is the actual mount. It feels nice and solid. Light too, but nice and solid. Black, I have black handlebars, so this is going to match really well if I decide to go down this route. However, this piece here I may not need. This is the traditional way to release the phone from the mount, but because I'm hoping to use this weatherproof wireless charger, this has its own mounting process. Okay, here are those cables I was talking about. So this goes into the wireless charger. Here, let's first look at the charger. Nice and heavy. It's got some heat sinks on the back here, so I guess this piece gets a little warm. Definitely feels like it's good quality. So this piece here connects into here, and they've recently redesigned it, that this cable, so you have to use these cables. These little rubber gaskets here and this little tube here, when it plugs in there, it's pretty solid and weather tight. This is going to come in handy. Now this isn't going to be my permanent solution. I really want to run the power in a different manner, but that'll probably be down the road. So that right here is USB-C, and that's USB-A. Plug that into the instrument panel, and this will then plug into here, giving me the ability to do the wireless charging. And then some zip ties, Allen wrench, and of course your screw. All right, let's get this stuff installed. I'm in the garage and it is hot. But anyhow, I will sacrifice myself for this video. Let's put this Touratech GPS mount on first. So let's get started on the Pan Am.
First, start by removing your Pan America headlight fairing. An easy process, no tools necessary. All you need to do is pull straight back and carefully out of these rubber slots. Next, we need to remove the windshield component, which includes the instrument display screen and USB connection. A total of 4 bolts, 2 on each side, located at the base. Use a T30 Torx bit to remove. With the windshield disconnected, lean it in a good place so you can remove the wires. To remove the display panel, you'll need to push with some force the plastic pins that hold it in place. Disconnect at the base of the display. Unlatch the wiring harness on the sides and it should simply come out. Next, we have to remove the wiring for the USB-C port. It's held with a plastic washer screwed on to secure it. Lefty-loosey. Here's what a naked adventure motorcycle looks like. For the Touratech GPS mount, I lightly glaze over the instructions and get right to it. Using a T25 Torx bit, I unscrew the lower bolts to the windshield. We'll be replacing the factory bolts for the supplied longer ones, giving us the ability to attach the metal brackets. The replacement bolts don't match the factory black bolts, which I am not a fan of. Lightly secure the brackets using a washer and lock nut. Using the long bolts, washers, and plastic spacers, it's time to reconnect the instrument panel. This is the part that confused me, but I eventually worked it out. It's important to know that the thicker, shorter spacer is used to support the space between the bracket and the instrument panel, and the thinner but longer spacer is used to fill the instrument panel's gap for the mounting holes. I almost forgot to adhere the foam rubber to help protect the instrument panel from the brackets. It would have been easier if I did this before setting up the bolts and spacers. Apply ample pressure to remove the original plastic pins that held the instrument panel, making room for the new bolts and spacers to secure it now. Even though I had the long skinny spacers originally in place, it was actually easier to insert them after having the panel in its spot. Tighten everything down using a 10mm socket and a 4mm Allen wrench. Install the mounting bar with a T20 Torx bit. Now it's time to reinstall the windshield module back. With the wiring being short, it takes a bit of effort to find the sweet spot to screw back the USB connection and the instrument panel's wiring harness. Now we need to verify that everything was wired back correctly. Success.
Okay, that was a really fun install. Had a little issues with the spacers putting on that GPS mount, but we worked through it. Now the fun part. Let's do this quad lock installation. Now I do have a lot of different pieces and I can mount this just about virtually anywhere. But since I put on that GPS mount, I want to focus on installing the phone in that position. So I'm going to use this small 10mm, well, I'm actually going to use this mount right here and use the 10mm spacer to attach it to that bar. See if the phone can sit in a vertical position in that way. If not, maybe horizontal, but we'll figure it out. We'll tweak it a little bit. So let's get started.
Deciding on just utilizing the stem mount, this installation was incredibly simple. Put the appropriate rubber spacer in place. The mount is separated in two pieces, easily connected by screws, and tightened using the supplied Allen wrench. The vibration dampener connects to the top of the stem mount using just one screw. Make sure your angles are good and tighten.
We got it all assembled and it seems to have gone together pretty well. It's almost exactly where I want it in terms of this. If I want to have that kind of profile, maybe I might go that way. We'll see. But I think I'll disassemble it and make sure everything's really tight, just to make sure. But next, for the wireless charger, we're going to use the shortest USB cable they have because I'm really close to the USB-C port, which is right there. And so I'll go ahead and use this adapter and let's see if this works. Success. Looks like we got power going to the wireless charger. Go ahead and here we go. Now, not particularly keen with this setup. I wish I could actually get something a little bit shorter than that. Okay, everything came together just like I wanted it to. This isn't my permanent setup. I don't like the cable going directly to my USB-C connection. The ultimate goal is to probably add something like a power distribution module so I can add other electrical components. But then if I just turn on the bike, the power's there, turn it off, make sure there's no power trickling or anything like that. That's what I want to do. So we'll save that for another video, but let's take this for a ride and see how this thing handles.
So far, I'm happy with my decision to mount this above the instrument panel, because as you can see, it would be difficult to view it at a lower angle with this tank bag. The installation of the Touratech bar mount gives me additional mounting points, which there never seems to be enough. Whether it's my phone, or maybe some other GoPro cameras, or even a dedicated GPS, it's good to have. For the quad lock setup, I couldn't be more pleased with the build quality, the installation simplicity, and giving me the ability to power my phone on the go. No longer will I have to sweat a situation where my battery is about to give out in no man's land. The way they design their product gives you a lot of viewing and mounting options. I can ride with this in a current vertical position, or even elect to ride it in a horizontal position. If I were to complain about anything, it will be the pricing. Some of their accessories seem to be reasonably priced, but the mounting arm does seem a little expensive, but not too unreasonable because of the build quality. The basic motorcycle mount will run you $75, and with the necessary phone case, an estimated $30. That's a minimum total cost of $105 US. I think Quadlock has a really good mounting system here, and I could see them taking more advantage of it with additional solutions. Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing a slim wallet that could attach to the case. That would just be great if you were on a trip, got off the bike, and just attached your wallet when you're out seeing the attractions. Overall, I'm very pleased with my setup, and I really hope all of you got something out of this video. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe and turn on those notifications. But we always get a really big kick out of comments and questions too. Hope to see you next time.